Welcome back everyone. In today's video I am flying out the A7M2 Reppu, which is in the Japanese tech tree at a battle rating of 5.3. And today I have a game where I managed to get 11 kills without rearming, which is now my new kill record. This footage from the Dusk map right now is not the 11 kill game, it's just some background footage. If you guys do want to skip to the actual game, I will leave it timestamped below. It's going to be around 4 to 5 minutes into the video. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about this thing's flight performance. So I don't use the A7M much because it feels really cheap, and I usually only take it out for a match or two at a time when I am feeling tilted or I just need an overpowered plane just to fly without having to use any brain power. This is going to sound really mean, but today I was flying out the A7M2 because I was on duty, what I am calling pancake patrol, which is ruining people's days so that the flying pancake can hopefully go down in BR to a more respectable matchmaker. So far the scores are around 10 pancakes down for me, but we are going to need a lot more to lower the KD enough to then lower the BR. Getting my kill record in this plane doesn't feel very deserved because it is an overpowered plane, and the match was also a full down tier as well, but that's kind of besides the point. I still figured I'd upload it just to show off my new kill record, and also to show you guys how disgusting this plane really is. So, the A7M2, and I'm not going to sugarcoat the way I say this, is one of those planes that runs on the power of bullshit. It has a 2200 horsepower engine, it climbs well, it accelerates well, and it has a pretty decent top speed for a Japanese plane at this BR, and all of these are really good things, but you wouldn't expect a plane with these attributes to also have a turning circle the size that it has. It turns about 2 times as well as something like a BF-109. You don't ever really stall, the retention is really good, and you have a nasty set of guns. It can reach over a kilometer away with enough ammo to get a dozen kills and still have some left over. And all of this is at a battle rating of 5.3. In my opinion, this thing needs to be moved to 6.0, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. The A7M is just one of those planes that you just don't want to fight, and it makes total sense because they're so frustrating to deal with. Like, an A6M5, they're very similar to an A6M5. When you're fighting them, they can constantly pitch up to get their nose and guns on you at all times, which is already annoying to deal with, but then you take in the fact that the A7M2 is going to be going twice that speed as the regular Zero because of its engine power, and also has a much more dangerous armament with more ammo to spray. You start wanting to avoid dealing with them at all. The only real option is to just run away and ignore them, because trying to boom and zoom them is really hard and almost impossible in a lot of aircraft, because the A7M can just climb with you, and since it doesn't stall out, the second you initiate an energy trap trying to stall them out, they can just stand on their propeller without stalling and shooting at you from upwards of 1.2 kilometers. It's really hard to deal with. And if you couldn't tell, I'm getting kind of annoyed just by explaining what fighting this thing is like, because it is cancer to deal with. And you either have to be in a very good plane to deal with it solo, like an F4U4B, an F2G, a P51H, Yak-3U, maybe a Yak-3VK, BF-109K4, and that stuff that has just really good climb and speed, or you have to 2v1 them, and even then it's still going to be difficult to kill the A7M because they don't lose much energy when they're turning to dodge attacks. And also, notice how all the planes I named a second ago were a higher BR than the A7M? That was kind of on purpose, because if you are up-tiered into an A7M, there aren't many planes that can deal with it solo. And you will see just how much the A7M2 bullies planes that are lower BR, because in my 11 kill match, it was a messy full down tier. Luckily, the A7M is a pretty big target, and it's prone to being set on fire, and although fires most of the time will not kill the A7M, the damage will make it much easier to deal with. It's kind of funny, I'm kind of supposed to be reviewing the A7M, but I'm explaining why it's so annoying to fight and not how it is to actually fly it. So I'll do that now, I guess. Basically, flying the A7M2, especially in a down tier, lets you feel true power. If you don't really need a brain to fly the A7M2, you just climb in, make sure you don't let anyone get a clean shot on you, start shooting, and that's pretty much it. The flight model basically does all the flying for you, and the only part that really matters is decision making, like target selection and positioning. It's one of those planes that you can just full send into a furball and get multiple kills with ease, as long as you're just kind of looking around to make sure nobody's lining up a shot on you, because if somebody does hit you, you will be set on fire, and that's most of the time. Most of my deaths are from like a single bullet hitting my fuel tank, and my entire plane becoming a sitting duck after a fire turns my entire damage model to red. So be careful of stray bullets, be careful of letting people get on your tail. And the only other downsides of the A7M besides the fire hazard is the sluggish roll rate, which kind of feels like the P47's roll rate, where it has like a noticeable amount of inertia. It's just really sluggish to get on target. and the elevator compression, which turns this thing into a brick above 600 kilometers an hour. Be very careful at that speed because you won't even pull like 6 or 7 Gs when you're above that. It's also slightly slower than the average 5.3 aircraft, but the speed difference isn't too big, so most people will have a very hard time still being able to run from you. Alright, let's hop into the 11 kill match. Alright, so I'm starting off in replay view. Unfortunately, I did switch it back to regular gameplay within like 15 seconds or so. I just kind of forgot to turn my recording on because this was the first match I played this day. But basically, we're starting off at pretty high altitude. This is Norway, so it's a really big map. And I have a P-38 below me and to the left. And I'm pretty comfortable taking this head on because, first of all, I'm faster. And it's also a P-38 who's also not going very fast. So he's going to have a hard time getting guns on me and going to have a hard time dodging my shots. And I noticed that he's going so slow that I can just go directly up and over him. And he has no chance. I mean, I just loop back over on his tail instantly. He actually tries pitching up for some reason. Even if he dove straight down, which was his only real option to maybe survive, I still would have been able to get shots on him, but that doesn't really matter anymore. He's dead. So after I kill him, I'm going to extend away from these 3 guys. There are 2 pancakes, a P-47, and it is a bit dangerous to dogfight one person while another person, like in a decently turning plane, is also there, because one person can boom and zoom you while the other person just kind of keeps the rate fight up, which is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to just dive away from these guys, see what they want to do. P-47 is really steeply diving, and so I'm going to kind of mirror him here. And when he steeply dives like this, he creates a bit of separation between him and his teammate there. So I'm going to dodge him first, and he's not going to be able to turn around in time for me to really worry about him while I'm dodging his other teammate. I'm going to go below the XF5 view here and extend away. And that dodge under his wing kind of forces him to do a split S after me. And when you're in a plane with really, really bad MER, a split S after somebody is a really bad choice to do, especially in that thing, because oh boy, does that thing have bad MER. And you can already see he's going super slow. He gets cleaned up by my teammate. And I'm just going to extend away from the guys on my 6 now. So there is a 109 G14 up high. There is a pancake pretty close to me. However, he's going to switch to my teammate here. And the P-47 from earlier is going to come back in now. So I'm going to turn a bit to the left to kind of group these guys up, which is going to make it a lot easier to dodge both of them at the same time. It's going to make my dodge more efficient. And I'm just going to dive under them again. P-47 starts shooting. I'm going to roll back out of his guns. And the 109 just has absolutely no chance to kind of pull into that shot. I'm going to turn back in front of him for a bit. He sticks it just a bit too long, and I'm still going fast enough to be able to get a shot here. 109 pulls broadside for me and gets clicked out of the sky. So after killing that guy, I'm just going to extend towards the middle of the map because I don't really need to chase the P-47. I mean, he's really passive, it seems. He's already going to Narnia, it seems. So I just said it seems like 4 times. Goodness. Sorry about that. But basically we have 3 guys to my left who are all lower and a guy who is on my teammate to the right. And in this situation, the priority goes to the group of 3 guys that are all climbing together, because if they all stick together like this and I leave them, they're going to be all at my altitude or above me within maybe a minute or 2, and that's going to be much more dangerous than if I were to deal with them now. So I'm going to start off by going for the F4U who's pitching directly up for me, dodge the second F4U, and the P-47 is also pitching up for me. However, he's pretty much stalled out at this point. I can also just pull straight up over his nose, and since he's already stalled out, he's not going to be able to get his nose any higher. I can just loop back down on the F4U4. A bit of bad aim here, but I was trying to kind of pay attention to if I was going to get a shot on the P-47 as well. I end up doing so. Yeah, he goes down, and the F4U is just too damaged, too slow to really be able to fight back here. And I end up clicking him out of the sky as well. Unfortunately, my teammate does die to the pancake, so I just head on him here. And he's not going too fast, however, I do want to be a bit careful because it pulls a lot of AOA, but the second I get past that merge, I'm going to go into a rate fight by also going a bit up. And when you're doing this, it doesn't really matter if you're in a plane that turns really well or if you're in a plane that doesn't. The XF5U is going to lose a rate fight either way because it has such bad MER. You can already see he's going way slower than me, and he's already maybe 700 meters below me. And this guy just has no chance. One shot his tail off, go under the P-47. It's a D-25. He's slower than me, so I'm actually going to cut throttle here because I was also kind of compressing, and this guy's just not going to be able to do anything. I don't even know if he saw me or if he forgot about me, but even after all those turns, even after cutting that throttle, I'm still going to be able to catch him. And I just click him out of the sky as well, and that's going to be 7. There is an XP55 directly in front of me, and he's going to do his best to dodge both me and the L185. However, I'm going pretty fast right now, and when I split S like this after him, I'm going to be gaining speed in that maneuver, getting really close to that shot, and you can already see I am, even though I'm blacking out, I'm directly behind him, really close, and I just turn so much better than him. Even though he's an XP55, there's just nothing he can do. And the XP55 is one of those planes that gets completely countered by the A7M2 because it's a really, really good plane, but it's kind of slow. And XP55, when you can't run, how should I say this? When you can't run from the A7M2, you're dead. Like, there's absolutely nothing you can do against this thing. And I find that 109s also have a pretty hard time dealing with the A7M2 because they're not necessarily the fastest either. So if you ever fight a G6 like this one is here, they just aren't really able to do much. So after merging with these two guys, I'm going to do another split S just to kind of gain that speed, really quickly turn around to see if I can catch him really quick. And I don't have much ammo here, so I'm going to conserve it because eventually I will end up catching this guy anyways. I have a bit more altitude. He's diving a bit more aggressively for that Yak 9. And yeah, it's just a matter of time before I kind of get within range, and there's not much the 109G is going to be doing. I'm going 660 right now, which is pretty impressive for a Japanese plane like this. And man, this thing is complete bullshit. Sorry for swearing, but it is. And the 109G6 is too caught up with trying to deal with the Yak 9 that I can just slot in directly behind him. Unfortunately, I don't really get that shot there because my elevator was beginning to compress. However, when I lose speed in that turn, I can just start pulling like 10 or 11 Gs. Nothing he can do. I'm going way faster than him as well because I also have better MER. And he ends up getting clicked out of the sky. And the P-47, instead of going for me, he's going to go for the Yak 9. It actually ends up killing him. But now we're in a situation where, although he does have a bit more energy, I'm in an A7M2 and I'm starting off directly on his 6. So he's going to have to play this really carefully, and if he makes so much as like one tiny mistake, he dies. And I'm kind of acting like I don't have much energy here because I'm not following him directly up, and I'm going to wait till he kind of turns around a bit more, gets directly above me to then pitch up, and you can see how quickly I got my nose on him. And since I don't stall, there's just not much this guy can do. I'm too close to him. I can just kind of hang in the air and tap my guns on him until he goes down. And that is 10 kills, all fighters. And I've actually never gotten this achievement before, but it was called Fighter's Nightmare. It's where you kill 10 fighters in a single match, and they all have to be fighters, which, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. I've never gotten that achievement before. I think I showed it off in the thumbnail. But yeah, after using an Avenger order, I find the last guy. It is a C205 Sarah 3, and he is above me. However, the C205 just is another one of those planes that has absolutely no advantages against the A7M2. So even though he's above me, I'm just going to kind of give him my 6, and when he decides to dive on me, I'm also going to dive, just to equalize that energy, and then I'm going to turn into him, just going to full send it, because when I full send it, there's not much he's going to be doing, especially when I've equalized the energy enough. If he doesn't have enough of an energy advantage to get away from me, he's dead. I mean, it's as simple as that. I can hold S and win, and that's all I have to do. So now he's actually pretty aggressively diving on me. I'm also going to start a kind of aggressive dive, equalize that energy, and I'm going to turn into him just before I reach 600 so I don't compress too bad. I'm going to go up over his guns, and I'm actually going just a bit too fast here. I didn't think I was, so I almost end up pitching directly in front of his guns, but he ends up ripping his flaps. I end up dodging the ram here, and at this point it's a done deal. I'm going a bit slower than him because the C205 also has decent energy retention, but I have twice the turn rate he does, and I end up getting 200 meters behind him directly on his 6 without him having any altitude to work with. And yeah, you can imagine what happens there. I get my 11th kill, and I get a pretty cool YouTube video out of this. Even though it wasn't the most special, it was honestly a really stress-free 11 kill game. It was in a pretty cheap plane, in a full down tier, so it wasn't the most impressive thing, but I still figured I'd upload it because it is my new kill record, whether it's in an overpowered plane or not. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.